So we walked in the door, said we have to make content like the 15th time. Yep. And, you know, I was aggravated. And I looked at him and I said, dude, just turn the fucking camera on. I am the content. I was being a smartass. Yep. I didn't really mean it. And then I went back to doing what I was doing. And the dude just turned the camera on. And then the whole entire rest of my day was captured. Okay. And then the team that grabs that footage and watches through it started chopping it up and dropping it. And believe it or not, that's when I went from, you know, no followers to followers.
Welcome to 2000% Raise, hosted by the man who took down billion-dollar companies while sitting at his kitchen table, John Cerasani. Left that big job in my 20s to become an entrepreneur. Everyone said I would fail, but I got winner in my core. Sold my company to private equity and the money poured. I got millions times galore. Not bad for a kid from Schaumburg, right?
What it is, this is not Bradley. It is John Cerasani doing the 2000% Raise podcast from the Dropping Bombs podcast studio in Las Vegas. And my guest today has been gracious enough to let me use his own studio. And I got to tell you, I feel like I've arrived, because when I was on his podcast last March, he probably doesn't even realize this, I was on the come up. There's a few things that happened with me.
That's why you came up.
Well, you know, it's hard to put a finger on it, Brad, and here's why.
Coincidentally, it was around that time.
Dude, it really was, man. And it was kind of, your podcast was, I don't know, kind of like validation to me a little bit. And let me just tell the story too. You might not even remember this, but by the way, the reason I'm wearing sunglasses is because it's my second day in Vegas. My face is bloated as fuck right now after the airplane, Bloody Marys, dirty martinis. Then here, I never should... Advice, never film a podcast on the second day. Anyway, so Brad, I had come to your office and I had reached out to you on text message. We had met briefly at the Wynn once. I don't know if you remember that. And you had given me your cell phone number. And I was trying to do the social media thing, trying to grow with it and stuff. And as I looked at these like business influencer types out there, bro, you know, like the Ad Milets of the world. It's like I appreciate what they're saying. I appreciate what they're doing. There's a lot of people that kind of fall into that category, but it wasn't really me. And somebody told me I remind them of you. So I started following you and watching your shit. And I'm like, this is the only dude out there that's like in that category of business influencing that I feel like, you know, I kind of vibe with. So I go, next time I'm in Vegas, I'm going to make a point to go introduce myself to him. You said I could come by your studio. Let's come say hi, come by your office. Your receptionist, I think you were surprised that I showed up. The receptionist says, okay, he only has a minute, but he said he'll meet with you, because she didn't know who the fuck I was. And we ended up spending like an hour together, man. He showed me around and everything. And ultimately, you invited me to be on your podcast. And right around that same time of that airing, I was on Below Deck on Bravo. And started messing around with this Bob Menery fellow a little bit. And my followers went from like 50,000 up to like 100,000 in like a 3-month period, man. So you were a big part of that. So thank you so much. I got followers to this day that will tell me they found me from your show. So I appreciate that, man.
My pleasure, John. My pleasure.
No problem.
I am literally a kingmaker. You're not the only one, my friend.
Well, and you know, if you don't know who Bradley is, guys, follow him, The Real Bradley, LEA, on Instagram and everywhere else, and the Dropping Bombs podcast. But what's also interesting about Brad is that, dude, listen, man, I'm in a position where I got time to be fucking around with this shit all day. You've grown this social media following. Well, you're still running a freaking company.
Several.
Yeah, okay. Let's get into that, man. Like, you know, even right now today, we had to sit there and wait for you to finish a meeting. I couldn't imagine doing as much shit as I do on social media right now if I still had employees and other shit going on. I mean, that has to be a balancing act for you.
Well, dude, you gave yourself a 2,000% raise.
That's right, brother. That's right, brother. You know, what's interesting is they kind of coexist together, though, right? Because your Lightspeed platform has social media types and influencers probably using your platform, so you're around these people a lot. You have your podcast. I mean, is it the chicken or the egg here? Or no? Okay.
I developed a process that allows me to create unlimited social media content. It's called Be Real.
Love it.
No, really what I did was I realized at some point that you need a lot of social media content if you want to build a brand. You got to put a lot out there, as you're finding out.
Right.
Now, between all the businesses I was running and the meetings I was having, I couldn't really do it. And so I would get frustrated because I would have to try and think up what to say and what to do and what to talk about. And it was a pain in the ass. And then one time my camera guy comes in, who was this anal little dude that just kept me on schedule. Like, you know, we got to make content. We got to make content. We got to make content. And one time I was doing something like on a call or something. So we walked in the door, said we have to make content like the 15th time. And, you know, I was aggravated and I looked at him and I said, dude, just turn the fucking camera on. I am the content. And I was being a smartass. I didn't really mean it. And then I went back to doing what I was doing and the dude just turned the camera on. And then the whole entire rest of my day was captured. And then the team that grabs that footage and watches through it started chopping it up and dropping it. And believe it or not, that's when I went from, you know, no followers to followers.
Really?
Yeah. And now I tell people when I teach them how to build a brand to be the content. And so you're going to be you all day long, correct?
Right.
You're being you right now. But yet I don't see a camera guy.
Right.
I see a guy with a phone. But dude, where's your camera guy?
Gotcha.
You can afford one, can't you?
Yeah, so him follow me around all the time.
All day long, being you.
Yeah.
And now you don't need to make content because your whole fucking life is content, dude. Because you're being the content.
Right.
And that's what works for me. Now, there are some techniques that I use that will allow me to make, like sometimes you'll see content where I'm giving my opinion on things. Well, I just have my team look up the most, you know, tweeted about or trending topics, you know, what's going on with such and such, you know? And so I'm out smoking a cigar cause I'm going to smoke a cigar. So I might as well film some shit. People are always like, you're always smoking cigars. I'm not always smoking them, dipshit. The content you see is when I'm smoking them.
Well, dude, isn't it funny when you're talking about shit like that? Tends to be the most viral shit, right? Like you had one a year ago where you were fucking just talking randomly about mom jeans, and I remember it had a shitload of views. It has nothing to do. I'm watching this like, I go, motherfucker, how is Bradley a expert on freaking mom jeans?
Because I got an opinion. And I'm not afraid to share it. And I still think they're ugly. If you're a chick that can make mom jeans look good, dude, you're smoking.
You got a lot going on
I've
there.
never seen good looking mom jeans.
Ever.
Makes your butt look all long and flat.
Right.
Don't wear mom jeans. People are like, who are you? What kind of fashion expert are you? Look at your shirt. Listen, I'm not claiming I'm a fashion expert, but it's okay that I have an opinion. And I just shared my opinion.
Right.
So that's the technique. And dude, you can do it too because you've got opinions.
Right.
Strong opinions. So have somebody go figure out what's the top trending conversations, topics, interests going on. And then what's your opinion? And so really you like go have a cocktail. You know, cocktails with Cerasani or something with an S that matches. But point being is like go do what you're normally going to do.
Right.
And you just have a camera guy. Talk to your buddies, talk to whoever you would normally be talking to, and then just have those conversations teed up. That way, at least you're talking about something that people care about.
You know what's funny about you saying that is I'm on someone else's podcast tomorrow, and they sent me the list of the topics they wanted to talk about. And one of them was my opinion on OnlyFans. I go like, what the fuck does OnlyFans have?
What is your opinion on OnlyFans?
Well, you know, I don't really have one. I don't use it.
You do have one. You're just not willing to talk about it. What's your opinion?
Well, but to your point though, why are they asking me about OnlyFans? They're asking me because that's a fucking hot thing to talk about on social media. Probably. Right? Like there's nothing I've ever put out there that would make people think, oh, I really want John's opinion on OnlyFans.
What's your opinion on OnlyFans?
You know, I've never personally been on it. I feel like the guys chasing girls phenomenon is you know centuries old, and this is just part of that. Girls getting money from guys to just do basic shit and look pretty. I guess I'm not surprised by its success, given the fact that you know the porn industry has made so much money and everything. Just not really my cup of tea at all, though. You know, how about you?
See, that's kind of bland, isn't it?
I mean, like, honestly, it's one of those things I don't really feel that strongly about. I'm like, all right, good for him. I mean, I wouldn't want my daughter to have an OnlyFans page. You know what I mean? I probably wouldn't date somebody that's on it.
Now you're more saying shit that you would say. See the difference? Before it was but now you're starting to become what people see you as your brand.
Yeah.
Right or wrong.
That's right. That's right.
So again, if I don't have a strong opinion, I just say that, because a lot of times they ask me questions, doesn't excite me at all. I'm like, dude, next question. But when it comes to OnlyFans, I always tell the truth. And the truth is if I could get, 1 million chicks to pay $10 a month to see my dick, I'd be showing my dick.
Exactly. But you don't know if it's going to work or not. So you got to just start putting out there, oh, fuck, only 4 people paid. Shit. What do I do now?
Now you look like a dumbass.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, I don't hold anything against women who are doing OnlyFans.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want my daughters doing it. I don't think a girl should be, but I wouldn't be mad if they did. Why? Well, it just depends on their success rate. If you're on OnlyFans and you got 19 idiots paying you $20 a month to show your shit,
right?
I would say, you can do better working for one of my companies.
Gotcha.
But now I might not hire you because you were on OnlyFans.
Exactly. And that's the thing.
Think
shit lives forever.
Think about it, have some respect for yourself. But at the end of the day, I had Black China in here on the podcast, and dude, she was making like $20 million a month on OnlyFans.
Yeah, insane.
Shit.
Insane, bro.
Dude, now again, I'm on OnlyFans if that's the case. Jordan Belfort's on OnlyFans, I found out.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. Oh, he's not showing dick. He's doing sales training. He's using it as a paywall.
Well, so I think a lot of people are initially, the original founders of OnlyFans, the original board members, I think that was the intent, to have more shit like that being used for. And obviously the connotation with porn and everything else took over.
It.
Yeah.
Now it's porn.
Yeah.
If I heard you had an OnlyFans page, I'd be laughing my ass off.
I'd hold it against you. You know what I mean? And then Instagram's tried to do something similar to kind of match it with their subscription thing. I don't know. I personally don't know anyone that's taken off for. I'll get the thing like I could offer subscriptions and all that shit. I'm like, I don't try to really monetize shit yet, and I don't see anyone being successful with it on the Instagram piece. Do you even know about it?
Well, I was following a girl named Tommy Laren. Do you know her?
Yes. Hot.
I haven't seen her since she started that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm thinking, dude, subscription. I thought to myself, girl, you way overvalue your fucking posts.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna pay just so I see what you fucking post.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I ain't doing it. And I wouldn't ever charge somebody to follow me on social media.
Right.
That's where you get someone interested. I don't make you pay to see if you're interested. If you are interested and you follow me and you like what I'm saying, I have things you can pay for.
So let's talk about that, man. One of the things that I don't have, okay, and I don't want to make this just an influencer conversation, but it ties into your business, right? So you have Lightspeed VT, what's called Lightspeed VT, and you will do stuff like training programs, and it might be sales training, it might be, how-to stuff, but you also got, I'm assuming, I know, influencers that are also using this as part of their sales funnel process. You got interesting people coming in regularly, to name a few that you've done interviews with. I see Grant Cardone, Wes Watson, Andy Elliott, Patrick Bet-David. Is it the podcast and your social media, bringing these kinds of people together, or are they with you in the first place because, fuck, Lightspeed's a great fucking program and Brad's a good guy?
Well, now the latter.
Okay.
Now my social media is drawing them in.
Got it.
Because a personal brand draws them in. However, I started with like Grant Cardone.
Yep.
When I first started working with him, they called him Can't Cardone.
Really?
I had to show him how to do it all.
Okay.
No, I'm just joking. but I got
next
Grant.
episode we bring Grant on for his opinion on that.
I'd love to hear that.
Yeah.
I started with Grant when there was no social media. So
okay.
I was closing the gurus way before social media.
Gotcha.
And thanks to Grant and other gurus, I have a following. People were like, well, who's this guy that's hanging out with Grant? Then who's this guy that's hanging out with Tony Robbins? And who's this guy?
Yeah.
So I got my initial followers from those guys.
Yep.
And then they started to say, hey, I like this guy better, or I like this guy too.
Right.
And then I just started getting my own followers for my own reasons. And I used to think, man, if you follow me, then you follow Grant. You obviously, follow us both, because you wouldn't be following me unless you followed Grant and Tony and some of these guys that gave me my first followers. When in reality, I just assumed that all the way up.
Yeah.
But it's not true. Like now I have people that say, hey, I saw Wes Watson because I follow you.
Right.
There's people that follow you now because they followed me. And before I would think, oh,
right,
they all follow you
Yep.
It's all a small thing, but it isn't. You'll be surprised.
What's your position, Brad, or your observation on it with people that are out there selling business or coaching programs when they didn't necessarily have a business that was successful other than the business program other than the coaching program that I am now selling on you? That is my fucking business. Give me $50 a month and I'm going to teach you how to make $50 a month. Here's why.
Well, I believe that if the program entails teaching people what they're doing, to make the money they're making, then I think it's legit.
Yeah.
Like, dude, if I had no money and I started a coaching program that made me millions of dollars, it's my only business. I did nothing before that. My coaching program should be coaching you how I did what I did.
And how to do a coaching program.
Period.
Right.
Because again, like at the end of the day, dude, here's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
Said guru or expert or personality achieved something or did something that was successful, and now they're showing you how to do it. So if they've never done it, then they shouldn't be selling it at all. So there's a lot of people like that.
How do you get those first clients, right? So I have a coaching program that's going to teach you how to have a successful coaching program. You know what I mean? How do I get my first 100 clients? And I think that's the part. You get it by, or a lot of people get it by doing meta ads properly. So maybe your first 100 people is, okay, here's how you do it. The same way I got you right now.
Exactly.
Just be transparent about it.
100%. You know, that's why I say it's legit. A lot of people hate on those guys. Well, they don't have a real business.
Yeah.
Well, I have real businesses also.
Yep.
And a lot of people think that I'm selling courses and shit, which I don't.
Boom. That's a distinction with you, man. And that's one of the reasons that I fucked with you, because I'm the same damn way. And you'll get haters on my comments. You're probably big enough now where you're solid enough, but I'll get shit on my comments where people are asking, okay, look at another fucking guy selling a program. I go, what program I sell, motherfucker? Oh, I do have this one subscription that's $14.99 a month because I put a lot of time into this fucking content, but I really don't give a fuck if you buy it or not. Let's just be clear, all right? You know, and it's not a funnel to sell you something else. Whereas a lot of people do have that, and that's fine, I think, right? And maybe it's a program like you're a coach. I'm going to coach you on how to coach. Okay, that's fine. Just take that layer and be transparent about it. There's a lot of these dudes out there, you know, whatever. You know,
name one.
Well, I don't want to put you in a bad spot.
Call a brother out.
I mean, there's a lot, I think. It's like, where the fuck did you get your money from?
So many you can't even name one?
All right. These are friends of yours, so I probably wouldn't.
So?
Yeah. I mean, Wes Watson.
Okay, what about him?
Okay, like he became rich selling the fucking program that he's selling. That is his program.
Well, might I just say that that's not necessarily completely true.
Okay, let's hear it. I don't know. That's why I hesitate to call people out when I haven't done research. But he's one of those guys. And by the way, I just want to go on record here as saying, anyone that's been in prison and to wrong turns in fucking life that is doing something positive, okay, good for them, dude, rather than stay in the same fucking path they're on. So I always hesitate to say anything too negative about him. And he's getting blasted on the internet right now. There's a fucking...
Yeah, but he's getting blasted over dumb shit. Like he said he was on a level 4 yard. He wasn't on a level 4 yard. Who gives a shit what kind of yard he was
That's true. I can agree with you there.
But again, if you're bullshitting there, you could be bullshitting there, which is their point. So again, if he wasn't on a level 4 yard or he was, is irrelevant. I can't believe you're bragging about being in prison in the first place.
Wow, that's true too.
Secondly, just to go back a minute, Wes Watson has shown people how to do what he does, and those people have made a shit ton of money. Okay. I know them, and they're like, should I talk to Wes Watson? I said, dude, talk to Wes Watson. Now,
does it turn into a Ponzi scheme?
His customer service skills are a little bit lacking, meaning the way he talks to you, there's no arguing. He'll tell you to shut the fuck up, stupid, you know, but that's, again, his personality.
Yeah.
But I know people that made real money after they gave him 30 grand or whatever his promise was. So Wes Watson's shit does work, and it is what Wes Watson does himself. If you fall into his funnel, it's him DMing you back and forth. He doesn't have sales teams or anything. He really is making a couple $1 million a month because I know someone who processes his merchant services account.
You?
So at the end of the day, he's not full of shit when it comes to, he is making that money. Yep. He's not full of shit when it comes to, he can show you how to make that money because he can and he has, and I know people that he did it with. So there's nothing bullshit about it. The bullshit that they're all talking about is that he was, whether he was in a hard ass prison or a soft ass prison. Yeah. He says he was in a hard ass prison. environment and everyone else is saying, no, that's not true. There's nobody saying that his system doesn't work.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, there's a shitload of people that say it does. Like, you see all his testimonials?
Yeah.
So if someone said, is Wes Watson legit?
Yeah.
You got to tell me what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Was he in prison? Yes. Level 4 yard? I don't. Well, whether he was lying or not, I don't know about all that shit. But when you said he's selling a program that made him rich, what's made him rich is the years of discipline and reading and preparation that made him rich. Because if he didn't do the work and he doesn't actually know what to tell you to do, he wouldn't be rich. Well, he would have sold 4 or 5 people, and they all would have said he's full of shit, and he wouldn't have made money.
That would have been the end of it.
He's making money because, dude, he really is disciplined. Now, he says he gets up at 2:45 a.m. and goes to bed at midnight. Like, I don't know about that. You know,
on purpose? Shit.
I one time I saw him at a conference, and he walked in at like 8 o'clock, and I said, "What up?" And he's like, "Dude, fucking just woke up, almost, thought I was gonna miss it." And I was thinking in my head, "Well, shit, dude, that's a long time since from 2:45." But I didn't bust his balls.
Well, and it's one of those damn things, dude, that shit plays to different people on the internet, right? It's like, I see some of the shit he pitches. Why someone would pay him $25,000 to go to a mansion and fucking pretend like you're in a prison yard and do burpees at 6 in the fucking morning with him yelling at you, fucking treating you like you're on a level 4 yard or something.
But you know that some people need that, dude.
Well, exactly. Stuff plays. It's not my cup of tea.
Some people need that.
Yeah.
It's weird. I wouldn't like it either. I don't like being told what to do. But, dude, there are some people that need it.
What I don't like is him and people like him that are more than happy to take your last fucking $5,000, man, or the $5,000 you don't even have. Well, that's their fucking problem. Like, hey, you're gonna invest in yourself. You can invest in. What is the actual substance of why this person that's broke should give you $8,000 fucking dollars that they don't even have fucking right now? Are you actually gonna get deliverable results from it? And if the answer is yes, this is worth it for them. Here's why, and you really genuinely feel that is a good use of that person's last $8,000 or the $8,000 they don't have. God bless. All right. If you really genuinely feel that, and I'm not saying Wes, but people like him are more than happy to do it, knowing damn well this is.
Well, Grant's included in that.
So I kind of put Grant at like a little bit, just because he's such an OG and been doing this so long.
Grant, if you have $300 left to your name, he will take it and believe.
Is that right?
And he believes it. So again, to your point, he does believe that if you give me the $300, you'll be better off. I don't agree with that. I'm on your side on that one. Like, dude, listen, someone only has $300, you shouldn't be fucking taking it. You should be telling them to fucking buy some food or get a cell phone or something. Because if they only have $300, giving it to me is not going to help them immediately.
Yeah.
I can help someone over time. I'm going to teach you sales, communication, marketing, branding. I can help someone over the course of 6 months to a year. If you can't survive for 6 months to a year or afford to do what it is I'm going to tell you to do, then I don't want your money in the first place. As a matter of fact, if you only have that kind of money, you know what my advice is? Get a fucking job.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Go get a job, dude. You need a job. You need what's called a stable table.
Dude, you got to break it down. You know what I mean? Just fucking, I hate to break it to you, buddy. I'll get DMs from people like, well, dude, I make $180,000 at my job at Accenture. It's a W-2 prison, though. I want to leave to start my own fucking ornament company and sell it on Etsy. I'm like, motherfucker, you might want to do that as a side hustle. You're not going to make $180,000 like you are over there right now. You've lived a lifestyle you've built around that shit, bro. You know what I mean? So anyway, how about Andy Elliott?
What about it?
All right, so here's my deal with Andy Elliott. I watch this shit, and unlike Wes, I see Andy actually does have substance. He is teaching you business, direct-to-consumer, sales training. And some of the techniques in a million fucking years I would never fucking do. And I'll even make reels about it, the difference between selling to a business and selling to a customer. And you got to understand that distinction. But Andy doesn't like hide from the fact that, he's in the car industry. Hey, dude, he's fucking selling like a car salesman. Yeah, no shit. That's the car salesman way and all that kind of crap. At least there's something there that he's doing in training. I think a lot of the stuff he says is a little bit, bullshit, but it plays on social media. You know what I mean? He was on this one interview I saw him with this kid's Hard Knock University or some shit, and they asked him how much money he makes, and the way he answered it, it's like, 9 figures. We're gonna have $1 billion organization. I go, dude, okay, what are you really saying there, buddy? You made $100 million, Andy, or collectively within your affiliate programs, the gross revenue was $100 million. I mean, these are two very different fucking things. You know what I mean? But
I
again,
know he's making money, good money. I don't know.
Good.
I don't know if he's making 9 figures.
well, and he knows he's not. He wasn't even really fucking saying that. But the way
That's a lot of money.
There's ways to answer questions, and he knows how to fucking do it in those interviews that will, throw that up
But what's
there.
your question about him?
I guess my point was that we're talking about people getting slammed on the internet right now a little bit, and Andy is definitely in that category where people are calling him out for being full of shit, and they're
not really calling him out for that. They're calling him
lawsuit.
out for about 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
He worked at a car dealership, and he was doing things many car dealerships were doing.
Okay.
And that dealership happened to have been caught and busted. And they said, you're going to prison for 20 years unless you testify against everybody else. And so he took that deal.
Oh, okay.
So if anything, he's a snitch.
Yeah. I can see why he's not. But I can see why he's not promoting that story.
Hey, but let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Would you go to prison for 20 years to protect your buddies?
Fordicon wouldn't have done it in the first place. Is the answer to my question.
Well, that's the right answer.
Yeah, and it's a real
but
fucking
had you
answer.
done it, because again, a lot of people, it's easy to say, snitches get stitches. I'd never snitch until you're fucking facing 20 years. Then all of a sudden you go, wait a minute, who are these people?
Yeah.
Are they really my buddies?
Right.
And so, not to make light of snitching, I don't think you should snitch. But if I'm facing a lifetime in prison, I'll snitch on your ass. So guess what? Don't do crimes with me.
Yeah.
There's your fair warning.
don't include
everybody
me.
listening. Hey, Brad will snitch if he's facing life. Yes, I will. Don't fucking do crimes with me. But you said the right answer, dude. He shouldn't have been doing it in the first place. But people make mistakes. But when it comes to Andy Elliott, the dude really does care about people. I know Andy Elliott way better than Wes. And again, I mean, Wes has customer service issues that I don't agree with. The way he talks to people.
It's his deal.
But dude, that's his style, man.
Yeah, that's his thing.
But if someone said, should I pay Wes? I'd say, yeah, you should pay Wes if you're looking to do what Wes does, which is sell coaching over the internet.
Yep.
Because Wes knows how to do it. He's doing it successfully, and it's all real shit.
Yep.
Now, when you guys, when people are saying those aren't his cars and, he's leasing the house, he tells you he's leasing the house, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, he's got so many cars, I don't know which ones are his or not, but I'm telling you, he does make millions of dollars a month.
Yeah. Well, and unfortunately, that's the shit,
And so does Andy Elliott, by the way.
Yeah.
But Andy, I know personally, he really does care. He wants to help people. He wants people to be in shape. He doesn't want you to suck anymore. So if someone said to me, what sales training company would you advise we do out of all of them? Because I know them all.
Yep.
Andy's definitely in the top of the list. Why? Because that dude actually cares about you and your organization, and he actually has content that works and is current.
Well, and that's my that's my conundrum with him, because his content is right. If you're looking to learn sales to a consumer, I see his shit. I go, dude, that's fucking actually pretty good fucking content. But then what you're talking about right now, or what we're just talking about, is a willful participant in an industry that they were scamming or frauding banks, I believe was the deal. And that's all just greed. That's just fucking greed. And then when he got fucking caught doing it, he fucking snitched on everybody. So if you do it just for the fucking training, that's fine. But, hearing him talk about I only drink once a year and it's with my wife. I don't give a fuck. You rob banks. Okay? So I drink every fucking day. You rob fucking banks, right?
Hey, technically he did. He doesn't.
Yeah. Right.
Do people make mistakes,
That's no, it's true.
I tell my wife, dude, not everyone's perfect like you.
Brother.
My wife, she grew up in a Beaver Cleaver family. She's never done a drug in her entire life.
Good.
She's I don't know when she lost her virginity, but it wasn't young.
Okay.
She was one of those perfect little kids.
Yeah.
I was the opposite. But dude, people can change.
Without a doubt, man. And also what he was doing, I did look into it, and you're wrapped up. You're in this damn industry where you're making good money anyway, and now people are doing that, so now you're making even better money on top of it, and everyone's fucking doing it. It's damn wrong, though. I mean, shit, dude. Look at the mortgage industry, man. Before the crisis happened, all those guys should have been in jail. Every fucking mortgage broker should have been in jail in 2008. And the industry kind of needed that shit to happen to get rid of the bad seeds. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, with the car industry, you can't get rid of all the bad seeds. It's like, well, I hate to say it, there's too many.
Here's kind of, because I grew up in the car business as well.
Yeah.
So let's say I'm filling out a credit app on you, and I say, how long have you been doing 2,000% raise? And you said, I just started it.
Yeah.
Well, I know I need at least 1 year on, without them asking additional questions.
Right.
So I write down a year.
Yeah.
Okay. That's technically fraud.
Right.
But there's a slew of people doing that shit.
Yeah.
And then they were manufacturing paycheck stubs.
Okay.
I know of car dealers that are very successful, dealers, the owners that are very aware that they were doing it as well.
Right.
Like, dude, that wasn't just Andy's dealership. That was a lot of dealerships doing it.
Yeah.
Andy's one of them that got caught, which again, that's why when people look down on felons, I always say, guys, don't be so hard on felons because they're a felon, man.
Right.
Like, dude, you're a fucking felon. You just didn't get caught.
Yep.
And that's the truth.
Yeah.
There's a lot of felons that didn't get caught. I'm a felon that didn't get caught.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, dude, I've made mistakes. We all have. The question is how big of a mistake have we made and how many of us got caught making it? And that's where you come in with these felons. And then people want to talk shit about the felons. And it's like, dude, I don't throw rocks because, dude, I just didn't get caught.
Yep.
And thank God I didn't get caught, because then I'd be fucking at a disadvantage and everyone would look down on me when all I did is made a fucking mistake.
Right.
But the difference is I learned, I grew, I again, people say you can't, leopard don't change their spots. Like, bro, people can change.
Yeah.
I've changed. Now I'm like a walking angel. I'm the closest thing to angelic you can get.
So Brad, let's change gears a little bit here, man. I want to talk a little bit about you and, you talk about stuff on social media, and this is one of the reasons I like you. You'll not like ever play that kind of victim role, but little things will come up. Like you just came up now, where the part of town you grew up in and things like that. And, I've heard you talk about your dad. Hey, my dad wasn't like, hey, let's go throw the football kind of dad, but you still found ways to learn from him and shit like that. And now here you are as an adult, just like Donald Trump, just like me, of different sets of kids with different people.
7 kids, 4 women.
7 kids, 4 women. And how many of the 4 women were wives?
2.
How many of the 4 women were girlfriends?
4.
Okay.
No, 3.
Okay, so one was just like yeah. Do you treat those kids any differently than the other kids?
No.
Okay. Do all the kids from the different sets know each other?
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. My daughter was 5 when my son was coming with another woman, and I kept explaining to her, was your half brother? She would get mad. She goes, no, he's going to be my all the way brother, Dad. He's going to be my all the way brother, not the half brother. And it's always kind of something that stayed with me. So I've made it, full time together. So, awesome, man. Anything else you want to say about the family and the kids? This is something you don't really get into that much.
No, you were heading somewhere with this.
No, man. I think, I just think it's cool that you don't sugarcoat shit with that stuff, man. I think, a lot of people, I'll get in my DMs a lot of times, people saying, hey, dude, talk more about being a single dad. Talk more about this shit. And I do it sometimes, but sometimes on social media, that shit doesn't play that much. And unfortunately, I do pay attention to the views and the virality of things. But I think you're a good example for that, too, based on what you're saying right now.
Well, I don't play for the views.
Yeah.
I mean, I like when shit goes viral.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Right.
I like when you get a lot of comments and there's people debating back and forth. I like engagement, but I don't care. There's something out there called allodoxophobia.
I'm not. What does that mean?
It's the fear of other people's opinion.
Okay.
I don't have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when someone says, hey, Brad, how many kids do you have? 7. From how many women? 4. Oh, my God. You're a white trash frickin' trailer family fucking loser. Dude, it's the truth. If that's what it makes me, well, then I am one, I guess. So what? So what's the point? Well, I'm not going to hang out with you. I'm not going to follow you. I'm not going to like you. Cool.
What are the age spans?
I have a 2-year-old, 8, 10. Those are my current wife. Before that, I have 27 and 30-year-old boys from my first wife.
Okay.
And before that, I have a 36-year-old from some girl that wanted to fuck.
Okay.
And then I have a 37-year-old from a high school sweetheart.
She have a 36-year-old and a 37-year-old, you just said? All right.
And what's funny is
that's an interesting 14 months of your life, huh?
Dude, the 37-year-old, I was 17 years old, and it's the first time I decided to try it.
Okay.
Boom. One time only. Bang.
Yep.
And then I said, ooh, I better not do this anymore.
Yeah.
And then a year and a half later,
Surprise.
I tried it again. Boom.
Wow.
Another one.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn. So then I had 2 after I was married, which is obviously okay.
Yep.
And then she wanted to be the boss when there was already one, me.
Yep.
So we had to end that. And then I met a girl who was, on the younger side who wanted kids. And I'm like, dude, I like kids. I don't have no problem with kids. If you can't afford them, you shouldn't have them. But I could afford them. So I'm like, I made her a deal.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll keep having kids as long as I don't have to change diapers and, babysit. Like I'm not doing the whole middle of the night. It's your turn. Fuck you. It's like hire a nanny. I ain't getting up. I'm sleeping. Yeah. Like when people say sleeps like a baby, my wife says sleeps like my husband. So we made a deal. I said, listen, I've already had kids. I've already went through this nonsense. And let me tell you something. It's tough. It's challenging. And if you want them, I'll be happy to have them. But you gotta rear them.
Yep.
Even though we do.
Yeah.
She's the mother for sure.
I got to tell you, man, one of my greatest life accomplishments really, I think, has been being able to manage my relationships with both of my kids' moms and even beyond that, their families. I mean, my son's grandparents are probably as close to me as anybody right now. I'm in Vegas right now. The grandma flew in from Texas, is staying at my house in Chicago, watching my kid. You know what I mean? It's
it's probably because you were a good dad.
Yeah. Well, you know what? And you probably had this situation too, right? Like you get in relationships sometimes, and at first everyone's like, okay, they're not married. Let's see what direction this goes. You show up, then you show up again. You show up again, you kind of win everybody over. All right, you know what? He's fucking the real deal. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what the process was with winning over my son's family. You know what I mean? So it's a good thing. Listen, man, I got something for you, buddy. I should have brought this up when we were talking about like wire fraud and all that shit, but legally rich shirt, Brad. It's all you, buddy. Here you go.
Appreciate you. I kind of like this shirt.
You got it? It's my new logo. We still got the 2,000% raise thing, but I'm going this way. Want to also ask you, since we're in Vegas, brother, I've heard you say that you are not into gambling. Any feedback on that? Because all I talk about is gambling a lot. About I say fuck the W-2 stuff, fuck the corporate America stuff. And by the way, when we talk about growing on social media, it was when I started adding in the gambling element. You know what I mean? I started really hitting this wider audience. And to your point earlier, it's just all being authentic. A year ago, I'd be posting these edited videos of me like with my business acumen. Well, if you're looking for a corporate partner, look at this. Here's what you should put in your employment agreement. All great stuff. And it'd be fine. But when I really started to go up, it was when I said, fuck it. Just pulled out my phone. I'm talking to my damn phone, walking around my house.
You started being yourself.
Yeah. Just let it down. Let the guard down.
You started to get rid of your allodoxophobia.
Brother, and I got to tell you, though, man, if I want to take this shit to the next level, I'm at about 250,000 followers now on Instagram. We're a little more than that, actually. But
well, that show you're doing looks like it would work.
The partner, I think it's going to be a lot of fun, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll tell you what, though, man, I struggle with not even struggle with it. I do want to be more conscious of the things that really turn people off in my delivery, and that's the F-bombs. So I'm trying to, now I just posted one last night, fucking Fontainebleau, I'm taking all your fucking money. I just posted that last night, but my goal in 2024 was to maybe tone down the swearing a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't have an end game. I'm not looking for speaking engagements, although I am getting some now and asked to speak to like kids and shit like that. It's pretty cool. But I see like you on stage with the microphone. I see, other people obviously doing that. If I ever want to start doing shit like that, maybe tone down the F-bombs a little bit. Got any advice for me there?
I mean, your content can be shared more easily when you're not dropping F-bombs.
Yeah.
But you have editors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wouldn't think about it. I'd just be you.
Yeah.
And if you want to get rid of the F-bombs, just have the editors do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd just be you, bro. That's the bottom line, is be you.
Just
you
be me.
The content. That's the key that most people miss. They're trying to think up what to say, and they're trying to think up what people think is good, is cool.
Yep.
And they end up not doing it very well. If they just are them and quit worrying about all the hate they might get, then they'll find their audience. See, a lot of people, they won't say something because they're worried about the hate, but they also don't find their audience, which means if you're too worried about the hate, you'll never find the love.
Right.
So what do? You first of all, love yourself. Like, dude, I said I'm an angel, bro.
Yep.
I'm as close to angelic as you can get. I don't fuck nobody over. I don't lie to nobody. I'm only out helping people. There's nothing evil about me. There's no fucking dark side that you're going to find out. I'm not a racist. I'm not a chauvinist. I'm not anything. I'm a fucking good dude.
Yeah.
Well, and I believe that. That's why I'm not worried. Because, dude, if you don't like me because I said fuck, well, then fuck you.
Yeah. Well, dude, and also when you peel the onion back on you, Brad, too, right? There's, like what we were talking about earlier, there's substance there. Even walking around your office right now, before you came in here for the show, me and my guys here were walking around for about 10 minutes. You got shit on the walls that reminds me of the same shit when I had my company, dude. Little motivational things. One that stuck with me was less meeting, more doing. All right. I used to have a sign in my freaking office that was a quote from Thoreau, and I'm not like some big fucking literature guy, but it was a quote that always stuck with me.
Henry David
Thoreau. Walden, transcendentalism. Is that the right fucking thing? I'm not sure, but he had said, everyone is busy, so are the ants, because ants just go back and fucking forth doing nothing all day, just fucking building shit. They're all busy finding shit to do. Everyone is busy, so are the ants. The question is, what are you so busy about? So I'd always lead my Monday morning meetings with my team. I'd be like, guys, listen, running in fucking circles, chasing our efficiency is what we need to make this damn thing successful. And that was kind of my mantra, bro. And it put me in a position where our profit margins were way higher than the rest of the industry, and eventually put us in a position to sell. So when I get a chance to kind of like just sit back and observe what you got going on here, you got some employees that looks like they're having a lot of fun, but you got posters like that every freaking 2 feet on your wall. It's like this guy fucking gets it, man.
Yeah, so, meetings are kind of, they're necessary in some cases, but a lot of times meetings do the opposite effect. Yeah. And not only that, if you're having all these meetings, who's doing anything? Right. Exactly. And you're still probably nimble enough of an organization where you're not like, there's not a bureaucracy here. I wouldn't imagine. Dictatorship. It's like a flat where here's you and here's everybody else. See, and how do your employees feel about that? I don't give a fuck. Okay. People ask me too when I talk on social media, what if your employee's here? Because I'll say almost kind of like your thing, like, quit your bullshit job and go out and work for yourself. I say that here too, but because if someone quits here, I, number one, give them a high five and say, fucking, let me know if I can help you and good luck. Yep. Because doesn't mean they're going to make it just because they go. Right. But I'm not going to hold someone back from growing and winning. Yeah. Like, I encourage it. So if someone here is time for them to go, good. Right. I don't care. What are you going to do if they hear you? Well, dude, it's the truth. I don't think anybody here, if they ask me my advice, should be working here for very long. Why? Because they should work here until they come up with an idea or get enough information to go work for themselves. Right. Because I don't think you're going to get rich working for other people. Yeah. Now, you could. It has happened, but it's not likely, dude. It's very unlikely. You need to friggin' give yourself a 2,000% raise. There we go. Exactly. And it's not just that raise; it's the equity at the end when you sell the company. And Brad, a technology company like yours, one from the outside would look at this, and most venture capitalists might look at this like, okay, this is a tech play. You're raising capital, and one day you're going to sell the company, and then you get rich. But from what I've observed, this is a cash flowing business. You guys are bringing in money. You're not sitting there raising money and using investor money. We've never raised money. Exactly. So you fit that. Somebody asked me one time, why haven't you raised any money? I said, no one was ever offering any. We make money. They started laughing. It's like, I didn't understand about raising money. And now the only way I would raise money is if I had a purpose for it and I have enough money to do what we're doing. And I don't have these big major plans where I need $1 billion. So yeah, these tech because people can't wrap their head around the idea of a technology company or a technology platform that actually makes money. They want to build it to then sell it to Amazon or Google or Meta one day. They don't understand the concept of, wait, you're actually making money too? What the fuck? It's like head scratching to them, Well, thank God, because we'd be out of business if we weren't. Brother. Nobody gave me any money. Yep. No one offered me any. I didn't know how to raise any. Yep. So I made it, and used it and then made it and then used it. So for a long time, dude, we were making money, but I wasn't getting any personally.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, dude, and that's the damn thing. I'll talk to people about like, because they'll come to me with their damn idea. And I go, what do you guys need fucking money for? Just go do this shit by yourself. What do you need 200 grand for me for? Well, it's the marketing or whatever to get clients. I go, you have no way to get clients other than me giving you money for marketing. That's how you're going to get clients. You need to prove that you're able to get clients on your own before you put money into this marketing. It's like the chicken or the egg damn thing, man. And people can't wrap their head around the situation. I'm going to tell you right, I'm going to pick on Los Angeles people too. It's the best thing I ever did was going out to LA. Also the worst thing I ever did. It was the best thing in terms of building my network, but it also just exposed me to how full of shit some people are, man. They'll be building their businesses just using investor money, more than happy to just go spend all this damn freaking money. And it's like, bro, that's reckless, dude. You're taking money from investors. You should like be keeping yourself up at night to try to pay these people back. Not just like, oh, he's a fucking millionaire. He doesn't care about the 50 grand here or the 200 grand here. Yes, everybody fucking cares, dude. And on top of that, they're not going to invest in you a second time, by the way. I had a dude I get fucking 150 grand to. Fucking company went under. He tries to fucking reach out to me 2.5 years later about a new idea. I go, you fucking kidding me? Where's my 150? Pay me the 150 back and we could talk, you know? So, food for thought there, Brad. If you ever become a venture capitalist, my advice is don't do it.
Well, I'm a little bit of one right now. And I wish I didn't do a couple of them.
Well, you do angel investing?
If that's what you call it.
Yeah.
Give people money.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. I mean, I've said here, I'll back that. You know, right now I have 5 RV dealerships.
Okay.
Well, the RV business isn't going too well.
Okay.
So I know these guys from high school, one of them runs a successful RV dealership. The other one freaking built chains of gyms. They're not stupid. Yep. So they asked me, hey, you want to do this? You want to do that? I said, sure. I'm not going to do it. So I throw them basically money and sign the documents that needed to be signed. And I didn't anticipate that, those documents gave us $6 million in a line of credit.
Okay.
Well,
you're on the hook for?
Well, I am on the hook for it. And
personally?
Huh?
Personally too?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. You signed it as Brad, not a corporation. Yeah, shit.
You have to, or they wouldn't have gave you the line of credit. So I didn't anticipate that. Like normally, what happens is you use the credit. Let's say you get $6 million worth of inventory. Yeah. If you sell something, well, then you pay the chunk that you borrowed from that line of credit back, and then you keep the profit.
Okay.
And then you operate on the profit.
Got it.
Well, I didn't anticipate they would sell the units, not pay the money to the credit line, and then use all that money to go buy more dealers. And, in other words, you can't use the bank's money like that or the flooring line. Okay. So again, I wish there was some shit I didn't do as a VC guy. Yeah. But I'm not a VC guy. That's my advice to everybody. Like, stick with what you know.
Right. That's what I'm kind of learning too. It's the cool thing about being a VC guy is everybody wants to like be your buddy and pitch you ideas, and it's kind of cool to sit back and look at these ideas, but you got to learn how to like say no. Like, holy shit, buddy.
Or just don't expect the money back.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is my lesson because, dude, that's how I thought about this one.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, I lose a couple hundred G's.
Right.
Best case scenario, we're freaking rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I didn't anticipate all the actual worst case scenario.
Yeah, the $6 million. So wait, they're taking the profit from the sales and just using it all to go buy more RVs?
No. They're using it to operate because right now the RV business isn't very strong. Okay. So there's no sales. So instead of firing people and getting rid of things you can't afford, they're just using the money.
The line of credit for operating expenses.
Yeah. And so now it's much bigger liability than, if I lose, I lose this. No. I could be losing a lot more.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get out of it. Otherwise, I'm going to write a check to settle all those debts, and then I'm going to bail out, and that's going to be my lesson.
Yeah, it'd be a big check, man.
Yeah, well,
be a big check.
Whatever.
Why is the RV industry struggling?
Doesn't scare me.
There's $6 million here.
I just don't worry about being broke.
Yeah,
I have the ability to sell, close, and persuade. I know how to market, and I got a personal brand. And with those three things, dude, I can make millions of dollars no matter what.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Why is the RV industry struggling? Because of interest rates.
Interest rates.
Okay. Yeah,
so and it was crushing for a while.
Yeah. It'll come back by like 2030. You'll be in good shape.
I might not be there at that point. I'm trying to get out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, man.
Buy in?
Yeah. Let me take over your $6 million. Perfect. How much will you sell me the $6 million debt for?
0. Free.
Yeah, I take it. It's mine. Boom. It's mine. You know, I have a buddy that bought. He would buy trailer parks. And
that's a good investment.
Okay. Well, he had a way to do it. And when he was telling me the price points, I'm like, that's crazy. But then I realized you're also taking on the liability of the property tax of those parks. So even though you're getting it for X, which seems like a pretty damn low number, you're on the hook for that property tax that comes with it. So you got to add that piece of it to the formula. And I never really quite understood. I understood it, but I just never quite looked into it far enough to know if it's a good investment. But he seems to be doing pretty well with it.
Well, trailer parks, anything with cash flow, but trailer parks specifically are great because it's just basically land that you're renting.
Yep.
And even if you bought the trailer to put on it, you can rent that, Airbnb that. Like, dude, I've never seen anyone lose unless there was like some sort of toxic dump that they didn't know about.
Yeah. And Illinois is a little funny, dude, just like California it is. They have ridiculous property tax levels. And whenever a county needs money for the school district or for whatever there's a deficit, the first thing they do is fucking property tax. You know what I mean? So anyway,
Not
man.
in Schaumburg.
Schaumburg, bro. Schaumburg. By the way, I don't actually live in Schaumburg. I grew up there. It's a misconception. However, proud to be from Schaumburg, brother. Where are you from?
Cottage Grove, Oregon.
Cottage Grove? Is that by Eugene or where's it at?
About.
I'm just going to name random Oregon cities I know. Is it like more Eugene or more Coos Bay?
20 miles south of Eugene.
Okay.
It's right below Eugene. It takes about 15 minutes to drive up there.
You a Ducks fan?
Yeah.
All right. I have family in Coos Bay. Do you know Coos Bay?
I'm also a Beaver fan.
Are you?
Well,
what's
not
Beaver?
The team.
All right, Brad, we always end the show with one damn question, man, and that is Bradley recommends what movie to the 2000% raised audience?
True Romance.
True Romance. Tell me about it.
Dude, if you haven't seen True Romance, you're in for a treat.
All right, there you go.
It's Quentin Tarantino.
Okay.
Christian Slater, Michael Rappaport, Brad Pitt,
love all three of those.
James Gandolfini, Christopher Walken, Dennis Hopper, Gary Oldman. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, and it is badass. Michael Madsen, Bronson Pinchot, if you know who that is.
Oh, fuck, Bronson Pinchot. You got me hooked now, man. I'm going to go rent it tonight.
He plays a funny character. Dude, every fucking part in there is killer.
Yep.
Killer.
Awesome.
Christian Slater's the main movie star. Patricia Arquette. Mm-hmm. But anyway, just go watch the movie. I guarantee you will not be disappointed. It's my absolute favorite movie of all time.
Tune in to True Mance per Bradley. And also, if you are not already, start following him on Instagram and the Dropping Bombs podcast for more bombs like this. Thanks for joining the show, Brad.
Let's go. That concludes another episode of 2000% Raised with your host, John Cerasani. Make sure you're following on all social media platforms. Chai.